Hey, it's Cody. I'm here today to do a VR to Marlena Teresa, doing her Tarot to the Extreme Round 2. So, if you've seen the other Tarot to the Extreme tag that was going around, it was some prompts of decks that were opposite each other in certain ways that are still part of our collection. And these are 6 new prompts for that. I mean, I'm sure these are all over. I tried not to watch other people's. I watched Marlena's and then didn't watch anymore because I don't want to be influenced by what anyone else is saying. So before we hop in, have a little list of apologies here. It's fucking cold where I am right now, and the room where I normally film things like this is a sunroom, so it's full of like old windows, and that room is bitter as cold. So I'm filming somewhere else. I don't know if you can hear, there's like the clothes washer is on literally in the room right behind me, on the other side of the wall. I do have pet pigs and they are inside. They have their own room, but it's connected to the one that I'm in. So if you hear oinking, it's the pigs, and I'm sorry. Dogs clacking around, just noises that normally I can just shut the door on. I can't hear. They're just right here in the middle of everything. So hopefully none of that's too distracting. Okay, so Tarot to the Extreme Round 2. I will, of course, link the original video in the description box. So the first one is Modern versus Vintage. I had kind of a hard time with this one because I feel like more modern art style decks aren't really a thing that I go for very often. So I figured that probably my one, my one exception to this is the Gentle Tarot. Oh my god, the washer. And also the lighting here is weird. I hope I don't have to redo this video. Anyway, this just seems like more modern art to me. I don't know. I'm not like, I don't know shit about art history or types. You know, I don't know. Where's some with like people in it? This doesn't feel like something they'd have been painting necessarily, you know, 100 years ago. So for me, I think this is my only deck with modern style art in it. I mean, I could be totally wrong. I don't know. So we'll set that over to the side, and we'll check out the one that I picked for Vintage. So this is the Relative Tarot. Oh my god, it's shiny. The light is shit. But this one is literally vintage photos, digital collaged with the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot parts in it. So this definitely, I think, fits the vintage tag. So I realized in my first video I missed a crucial part of this, was to see how the decks look together, or if they seem like they would work together. So we're going to do that this time. I'm kind of sad that I didn't do it last time, but we'll take a look. We have here the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune. So okay, those cards at least, I think, look kind of nice together. Oh, you know what? I feel like I could use these together. I kind of feel, for a minute I got excited. I thought this was both the Queen of Wands, but that's swords. This might be something I could use. Grab it in there so we're not looking at the same cards over and over. I feel like if I drew like one of these and like a couple of these, this card stalks me in this deck. In the Gentle Tarot. I don't know what the fuck it wants. I feel like that might work out. See, now this is even more fun that I'm doing it correctly. So sorry about that for last time. I was supposed to be seeing if they would have worked together. Alright, so those were my modern versus vintage. My next ones are new moon versus full moon. So this is my pick for the new moons, the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. This is the mass market one. Oh. Well, Jesus Christ. All right. I'm on a different table, which is like my kids' table. I kind of like gave it to them, so there's like paint and just random, this looks like ink was spilled here at one point. Anyway, this is my pick for the new moon. I will say I don't always pick a deck that's specifically for a new moon or a full moon. Looking at it, I mean, I guess I kind of do. They're ones I tend to grab more often. So that's what I've done. I've just grabbed the ones that I, at the time, felt like do a pretty good job kind of getting that energy. I feel like this is a pretty good new moon deck. I mean, it's nighttime in all of them. It's the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. I love this death card. It kind of has an otherworldly sort of, I don't know. I don't feel like this is like the perfect new moon deck, but also I don't feel like I have a perfect new moon deck. So that's what I picked for this. I did color the edges. Also, my deck is really puffy because I wanted to be able to like riffle shuffle it, but I have small hands and also, I guess, weak little baby hands. And I couldn't, I didn't have the hand strength, you know, to do this. So, I ended up like literally taking each card. I just like lost my shit one day and I did like all this shit with it to like soften it up. It worked, but now it'll probably take a while for it to lay back down better, but it was a long story for that. Alright, so that was my new moon. My full moon, sorry if you've already seen this, you're about to see it again, is the Dreamkeepers Tarot. Look, the moon's on top. That's because I actually did just use this for the last full moon. This deck, for me, damn, I guess I'll get up here by the camera. It's a little bit lighter. I feel like, it has moon energy to me, definitely. Like, even, this is the sun card, but, like, ultimately, I think that's the moon on the background. I don't know. This is a weird card in this deck. It has moon energy. I use this for moon readings since I got it. I've also used this for new moon readings. I don't feel like it did a bad job necessarily. But like this card just seems a little bit bright and happy. Maybe a little more full moon energy than a new moon energy. This card disappoints me. The Queen of Swords. I'll just throw this in here while I'm looking at it. I feel like I'm probably a Queen of Swords type of person if you had to put me into a category for the tarot court cards. And this one, like, even the guidebook, it's like she's a statue and it's talking about, like, not having feelings and shit. Like, I get that I probably am not quite as soft and fuzzy as other people, but damn. That's my complaint. Well, that and the Five of Pentacles, which I fucking hate in this deck too, but I won't get into all that. So yeah, it's got a lot of moons in this deck. It feels like an overall moon deck. I think this one I probably reach for the most. Any moon phase, if it's got something to do with the moon, this is one of those decks that I'm grabbing. So we'll take a look at these together. I don't know the best way to do this. We'll do it like this. These kind of feel like clashing energies to me for some reason. Like, both decks have a lot going on, like, artistically in the cards, and I feel like it's too much. Like, if I paired either of these decks with something else, it would probably be a deck that's a little more sparse in its artwork. I read very much based on how I feel about the artwork and, like, what I feel like it's saying to me. So, for me personally, I don't think this would work. I feel like it's overwhelming to have several of these cards on the table. It would just be too much for me. So, I'm going to say those ones were a no, but I did like the Gentle Tarot and the Relative Tarot together. Try not to knock my shit down this time. Try not to make a mess, but also I try not to, like, put everything away on camera, so it actually just turns out that everything's annoying. Alright, my next prompt is cute versus creepy. For cute, I picked the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. Also, I may have had a little revelation here. I've talked several times in places about how the Oak, Ash, and Thorn Tarot just doesn't really connect for me. I don't know, I love the artwork, but something about it doesn't spark intuition in me, and I'm not really sure why, but I did realize when I was looking for cute decks, because I'm not really a person that goes for cute decks very often. I mean, it has to be, like, really special occasion, I guess, to even get one. Like, this is fucking adorable. And I realized maybe part of my problem with connecting with this deck is that it's cute, like, kind of cutesy, you know, little, I don't know, people-y animals. Maybe that's my problem. Is that the problem? I don't know. Like, that's kind of a shitty thing to say, to be like, whoop, this is cutesy, I don't like it, like that. I don't know. No thanks. Like a little heart on a bunny? Is that my problem? I'm not a heart on a bunny kind of person? I don't know. I feel like that's probably maybe at least part of it, so we'll set that guy to the side. Alright, so that was cute. Creepy. I'll apologize for this. I've got a lot of shit to apologize for. This is the Antique Anatomy Tarot. This is the 2nd edition. So this was an indie version of it. It is out of print. It's gone, so you can't get this, but I think this, in one of my really old reviews of this deck when I first got it, I named this deck Ethel Jean. I don't know why, I just felt like an old lady that was kind of like, had a shitty attitude, but was giving me advice anyway. So this deck feels creepy to me. This one kind of has that creepy factor, I think, more so than the Antique Anatomy Ephemera edition, or the ones that are that have become mass market. This one doesn't have the colors and the flowers. This one just seems a little more, I don't know, understated or serious. I don't know. So I went with this one for creepy. I feel like I had kind of a lot of them that could have fit this, but, like, do the other ones have a crooked spine and hands, skeletal hands? I don't think so. So we'll take a look at these together, the cute versus creepy. It's got some similar coloring, I guess. I think they look okay together, just physically sitting here on the table. It's probably because this deck has a kind of a lot going on in the art, and this one's a lot more sparse. But I don't feel like their energies are really meshing. I mean, I'll be completely honest, it's probably just because I don't mesh with the energies of the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. But we tried. So this was the Antique Anatomy's 2nd edition that was indie, and Oak, Ash, and Thorn. Sorry, I like to slam decks. I don't know if you noticed that. Okay, the 4th prompt is on my table versus in my bag. So, from what I gathered, these are decks that don't really get put away. Ones that you use all the time, you know, at home, or one that you would use all the time taking places in a bag or a purse or something. So on my table is Tarot of the Hidden Realms. I have had this for like 2 years. It has never once actually gone in the drawer. Like, it has never seen the drawer where it's technically supposed to go. I just love this deck. I haven't really found a reading that didn't feel like it suited this deck. Like, I feel like I could use this for anything. So this deck is always out. It speaks well to me. At first I didn't think I was going to really be into the whole up close people faces thing, but actually turns out I really like that. So it's got good colors that pretty much always go with the altars that I make. I hate this guy. I'm just sitting here showing you a deck I like. I'm like, anyway, I fucking hate this one. Sorry, that was rude. Yeah, so this one is always out. Always sitting here. Getting used all the time. My iffy edging job for that. Alright, now, the one that I have in my bag is currently... Okay, well, I guess it's time to admit that I don't just carry one deck in my purse. I have a little small one that I feel like I've shown recently in several videos. I keep it in like a little shitty little leather pouch that I made. But this one, sometimes I'll put another one, like if I'm excited about one, or I just feel like it's a day to use that one, I'll put that one in there too if I'm leaving the house. For a while this one's been in there. Honestly, probably a lot of it is because it's in a tin that stays closed. So, yeah. Alright, so here is in my bag. It's just the mini Wild Unknown. This light's kind of shitty, actually. I thought since it was overcast and kind of snowy that maybe it would... I don't know. So this one, I got my original full-size version of this when it was indie, when it was out on Etsy, when it first came out. I got this. Well, not this one, my full-size one. And I know it really well. Honestly, if I wanted to, which I don't, but I could just chop off the titles because I just know what all of these are. So when I'm taking decks places, a lot of times I like ones that are easy readers. Like, I can't be getting in a guidebook and shit when I'm out somewhere, you know? So, one thing that's kind of weird that this deck is really good at, sometimes, okay, I like to go to, like, secondhand shops, Goodwill, shit like that, and just see if there's anything good there. And, a lot of times I draw a card first, like, in the car in the parking lot. Like, if I got this, there's not going to be anything fucking good in there. Might find some good shit in there. Temperance is going to say, this is probably saying that there's going to be a lot of shit that I want, but I need to get a grip. Here's me charging down the aisles with a fucking cart. So, that's just one thing that I like to use, like, a purse deck for. I can't believe I just admitted that. Holy shit, if my husband sees this, he's going to be like, what the fuck? Okay. So, on my table, in my bag, let's see how they look together. I'm gonna kind of tip them toward the light here. I feel like these are a lot more subtle, muted, realistic colors. The black and white with the bright little pops of color, I don't think is working, like, visually with it. As far as the energies go, though, I don't feel like this is necessarily a bad combination. I probably wouldn't use it, but, like, if for some reason my life depended on using 2 tarot decks that I never put away, I guess that I could do a reading like this. Yeah. Visually, not so much, though. Oh. Alright, so this was in my bag. Get that guy away. On my table. I can go away now. Oh my god, I'm stacking all these decks right here. I'm gonna be mad as shit later trying to get them apart. Alright. Flip my little notes page over here, sorry. Alright. Number 5 is realistic versus fanciful. So, for my realistic, holy shit, I picked the Herbcrafters. I got this deck for a, oh my god. Do you remember when, fuck, Tamara, oh my god, Nightshade or something? Oh my god, I can't, I'll have to link her, Instagram page or something. She had a Patreon, at one point, and, she was doing this thing called 78 Pieces of Tarot, I think it was called, and we went, I think it was a week per card, as like a group in a little private Discord channel, and went through each card in a deck, and this one, I don't really work with herbs and plants that much in my practice, so I was like, I don't really need that deck. But then I saw that this 78 Pieces of Tarot, I think that's what it was called. Fuck. It might not be. It might be something totally different. I mean, it was 78 something of tarot. Okay. I'm sorry if it's wrong. But they were doing this deck, and I was like, oh shit, man, I missed like the first couple days. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I do need this deck. So oh my god, what have I done? So I got it, and I am so glad that I have this deck. You don't really need to know about plants to be able to work with this deck. The guidebook is wonderful. How did I do this? And the realistic, cozy little scenes. This is one of those rare decks that I actually like the minors better than the majors. I love the art style of this. I love the way it's put together. God, what the fuck? How did I do this? Yeah, I picked this for my realistic deck. I feel like this is a scene that I could see in real life, you know? I mean, it might even be a photo, except that it's not. I feel like it gives really down-to-earth and realistic advice, too. I mean, not just the art style, but also it's not going to give you some wild, oh yeah, just fucking leave your entire life and go do whatever you want or something. It's always going to be, it feels very tangible. The kind of advice that it gives you is here's something that you can do. It's a very kind deck. I kind of had a hard time placing this one. I thought of it for several of the tags in the first Tarot to the Extreme video, but then I didn't end up picking it ultimately. I feel like this could have gone for several. So, yeah. This was my realistic deck. I edged this with a marker that bled a little bit. I always say that because I don't want anyone to think that, like, I have some special one. I just colored it. Alright, so for fanciful, I picked the Witch Folk Tarot. Also, this might be called the Folk Witch. On the outside packaging, it says Witch Folk, but on, like, it says Folk Witch here, and Witch Folk on the box. So, I usually say Witch Folk, but it might be wrong. Alright, so this is an indie deck from, I think it's Dark Sendovir or something. I looked up how to say it, and then I forgot. So this one is very much set in a fantastical forest at night. It's populated with these little characters. To me, this deck is very much a little world of its own that I enter, you know, when I'm doing a reading. need, like, to pop my thumb or something. I don't know. So this, I think, I don't know if it's necessarily my most fanciful deck, but the readings can be strange with it sometimes. Looking at it now, it might be good for dream work. But it doesn't, I want to say it doesn't give realistic advice, but it kind of doesn't. Just the whole feeling of this deck is very placed in a different world than what we've got going on, you know? So let's put these two together. Shit. A realistic versus fanciful. This table's like grippy, the cards don't want to slide. I don't really feel like this is going very well. I think the difference is more than just the art style, it's deeper for these decks. You hear that? If you can hear that, that's pigs arguing over who gets to lay where. So. Sorry. So yeah, this was, I don't think these go together very well. Oh my god, the pigs. I would yell at them to stop, but it's gonna be like screaming into the phone right here. I don't really want to do that. Put this guy away. I'll list the decks that I've mentioned in the description box, but I'll put a link to like the indie ones. Oh my fucking god. And these other ones you can just get on, I don't know, Barnes & Noble, or, you know, there's a lot of places. Amazon if you must. Okay, so now we're to the quiet versus loud. This is the last prompt. I feel like I just showed you this, yeah, at the beginning of my November deck thing. Oh my god, here comes one of my cats. Don't start. Alright, so this is the Heaven and Earth Tarot. Oh my god, this was a terrible one for this lighting. This one is very quiet. It has a masculine energy to me. It almost feels like a severe grandpa sort of figure. There's Jesus. That'll call you aside. He won't yell at you in front of everyone, but like he'll tell you what he thinks you need to do quietly and privately. I just think this is a quiet deck. The artwork has that kind of sorry, my god, I had to like get the cat out of here. She was on her way up here to cause problems. It kind of, the way the sky is always kind of whitish makes me feel like an overcast day. Maybe it's the quiet before snow or something. So I would call this a quiet deck. So that's Heaven and Earth. Get that out of here. And I picked for my loud deck a deck that I don't use because of this. And that is, holy shit, Tarot of the Dragons. This is a newer deck, so I need to open it, but I don't want to, like, you can hear it, like, crackling. And that's because I don't use this deck very often, and its loudness is the reason. So, this crap out of here. For me, I'm very much a color person. Like, the colors of things really matter to me. And this deck is so bright. It's just so much. Like a loud, clanging bell. Like, you definitely know what it's trying to tell you, but also, like, Can you lower your voice a little bit? I feel like the colors might really be the culprit here, but I don't know, man. Maybe dragons are just loud. Can you see that very well? I don't know. This bright, screaming ass blue is really the thing that kind of prevents me from using this deck. I don't know. Also, I just haven't really worked with it very much, but when I do pull it out for a reading, its volume makes me feel like, oh shit, maybe I don't need this loud. So, I mean, that's rude to this deck. I like dragons. I feel like someday I'm gonna find the perfect dragon deck for myself, but it has not yet happened. So we'll put these decks side by side and see how they work. I think they're gonna work like shit. Yeah, I can't even like hear this one over this. Too loud, man. So yeah, I don't think I would use these decks together either. This one makes using this one useless. You can't hear what it's trying to tell you, so, or for me anyway, that's how they feel. So I do personify my decks, and I'm not ashamed of it. I know some people are like, why do you do that? I just feel like they're people, so yeah. This is an atrocious combination, and I will not be using it. So, that was the Tarot to the Extremes round 2. I think this was fun. I really like this, so yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.